Redwire, they just reported earnings. And while the market is focused on the losses, you might be missing the bigger story here. As the report that was stated, it came out yesterday as they did report the quarterly earnings last night. You will see certain highlights is that they have a record contract backlog, massive gross margin improvement, strong growth in defense tech, and management is still reaffirming up to a $500 million in 2026 revenue guidance. Those are just highlights of what the report does state. So this is becoming way more than just another small space stock. So I want to break it down here with you guys right now. And if you want more videos on stocks like Redwire, Castellum CTM, BBAI, SoFi, and other high growth opportunities, hit the subscribe and like button. And please comment below what it is you want to see in future upcoming videos, as I do post daily. Now, first, let's talk about what stood out most from this earnings report. And again, Redwire, a stock that currently is trading at $9.78, did have the market did react very negatively to the earnings report that came out yesterday, but they are bouncing back. Currently trading at $9.79, trading higher than the previous day's trading session. And Claude does have bullish expectations with a bullish one-year projection at $11.75 from the current price levels. Now, Redwire reported a contract backlog of nearly $498 million, which was stated in the report. If you enjoy my content, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you ever need help making better decisions with investing, simply take a look at the first link below to get access to my community and support yourself with like-minded investors and get access to the world's leading AI models, Claude, Gemini, OpenAI, and Grok. Get all of this software for $7 in my community, and my community is free. They also reported a book-to-bill ratio of 1.92. Now, if you don't know what that means, anything above 1 means the company is bringing in more new businesses than it is recognizing as revenue. So a 1.92 ratio is actually very strong. And that tells investors demand is still coming in aggressively. And one thing I think a lot of investors still must understand about Redwire is the fact that this company is becoming deeply connected to both the space industry and defense technology. A quantum secure satellite contract through, and some of the other major highlights that are included are a quantum secure satellite contract through the European Space Agency, new solar array contracts, NASA related missions, and more defense-related autonomous systems work. And there's continued integration into military drone and ISR technology. And this matters because investors love companies connected to AI, defense, drones, autonomous systems, and space infrastructure. Redwire is quietly touching multiple high-growth sectors at once. So when we go into the actual numbers, let's scroll down here for you guys. So when we go to the actual numbers, we're going to see here that revenue came in at around $97 million versus roughly $61 million last year, with the 3 months ended on March 31st for Q1 of fiscal year 2025 compared to fiscal year of 2026. That is definitely massive year-over-year growth, and their gross profit was at $25.8 million. But honestly, one of the most important numbers here was gross margin, because gross margin improved from around 14.7% last year to 26.6% this quarter. That is most definitely a huge improvement, because it tells you that the company may be becoming more operationally efficient and generating higher quality revenue. Now, obviously, this earnings report was not perfect, not by any stretch, but the company reported a large net loss of around $76 million. Now, However, what I do want to state is the fact that management specifically said that a huge portion of that was tied to non-recurring charges, acquisition-related costs, and equity compensation expenses. So this becomes one of these situations where investors have to ask, was this a temporary accounting heavy quarter, or is this business fundamentally broken? And right now, management clearly believes the long-term story is still intact. So one thing I actually like seeing is Redwire ended the quarter with nearly $175 million in liquidity, and that gives them more flexibility to continue growing the business. And despite the noise, management still reaffirmed its 2026 forecast for $450 million to $500 million in revenue. And that's important because if management was really worried about the business slowing down, they probably would have lowered their guidance, but they didn't do that. So that is a green flag in my opinion. And what I think the market is going to focus on moving forward is they're going to ask a few questions and they're going to focus on a few things. So first off, can Redwire continue improving margins the way they did? Can they turn this backlog into real profitable revenue? Can defense and space demand stay strong? In my opinion, they probably will. And can management eventually push towards profitability? Because if they can, the bull case here could get very interesting over the next few years. And overall, I actually think this earnings report was way more bullish than bearish underneath the surface, which after doing some review and people actually reading the report and doing a deep dive analysis on it, that probably is also why we are getting some a green push today. That could be one of the reasons why, as institutional investors do see a lot of positive signs when it comes to Redwire. But yes, the losses, they do look ugly, but backlog hit records, revenue surged, margins improved massively, and guidance stayed strong. So this feels like a company trying to transition from a speculative story into a more serious long-term space and defense platform. But I personally want to know what it is you guys think. Are you bullish on Redwire long-term, or do you think the losses are still too risky? Comment below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit the subscribe and like button and comment what it is you want to see in future upcoming videos, as I love giving the content that you guys want to see. But besides that, guys, David with InvestQ out. Stay safe, keep making good decisions with your long-term portfolios, and I'll see you on the next video.